think, at some point, as leaders, we must stop somewhere and say, we have a country to run. I mean, we cannot be reckless. We must, at some point, stop and say, what are the consequences? Because everything we do has consequences. And we must be careful as a nation to make sure that our country does not go down to the dogs. And believe me, countries, have gone in the wrong direction. And we must be careful. And I don't want to be the leader that took the country in the wrong direction. We must be measured. We must be careful. We must listen to the young people. We must listen to other views and be able to make a carefully well thought out plan for the country out of where we are.
Yeah, but what if the protesters are actually saying something in totality about your government, not just about the finance bill? It's not about just the finance bill, is it?
Linus, as I have told you, we are a democracy. The people of Kenya can make a decision. Yeah? And I am perfectly, alive to the fact that when the people of Kenya finally, the same way they decided to elect me, when they make another decision, we will comply as the people of Kenya. That's what a democracy is all about. People can vote in a government, people can vote out a government for whatever judgment the people have. So I want to be very clear to the people of Kenya that I will do my best to make sure that I tell the country the truth and I take the country forward. And I am committed to that. And I can see Kenya changing. If I had managed to pass this finance bill, Kenya would not be the same. We would take this country to the next level. The kind of investment I have made, the kind of collaboration with many friends that we have done, we would begin to see this country soaring into the future. But all is not lost. Maybe we have taken one step back. Sometimes maybe it is necessary to take one step back to be able to take many steps forward. And that is my thinking of this situation.
But surely it must bother you, Mr. President, that 2 years ago you ran such a euphoric campaign with things like Hatupangwingwi, and 22 months down the line, your State House is surrounded by the military. The military tanks, scary as they are rolling on the streets of major cities. And as we sit here today, people are saying Ruto must go. Surely that is such a fast slide. There must be something that causes one to pause and say, how did we get here? What happened here? And one would have expected an earth-shaking statement tonight that tells the country, I get it. Something has shifted in a major way in our country, and I'm also shifting as your president who's listening, and this is the new direction things are going to take.
Let me tell you, Joe, I came into office at a difficult time. Yeah? We have a combination of coming out of COVID. We have a serious drought that hit our country. We had interest rates that went up everywhere. We went into a very difficult situation. What did many countries do? Many countries went and defaulted. And I don't want to mention countries because it's not right to mention. But almost 8 countries in Africa went down. Many people expected Kenya to be among the 8. But believe you me, I have carefully managed the economy of Kenya. Kenya is not among the countries that have defaulted. If anything, we have running programs in Kenya. We have a whole housing program that is running. We have a whole digital program that is running. We have made changes in our education. We've hired more teachers. We've made sure that we have a new funding model for our universities. We have supported our farmers. We have reduced the cost of living. We have done many things, even in the context of all the challenges that we have had. I am telling you, I came in and I believe I am the right person to be in this space when Kenya is in a difficult position, because I believe I am the person who can sort out the challenges that faces Kenya at a point like this.
But when the public and the protesters, the Gen Z, some of who actually formed the base of your election campaign, are telling you, we are disappointed, you've not delivered. Hashtag Ruto must go. What do you tell them?
Let me tell them the following. Good friends, the young people of our nation, my sons and daughters who supported me to win the election. I hear you. In fact, I saw, I think it was on your headline, a gentleman from my village who was saying, the president has let us down. Many children in this village are not getting jobs locally. That is why they are going abroad. Little did he know, my good friend from my village, that the children, the 500 of his colleagues around our village, are actually part of my plan on export of labor. They have actually, I intentionally supported them to leave the country because we got them jobs outside Kenya. So I am telling the young people of our nation to be patient. Our housing program is rolling. We will be hiring more architects, we will be hiring more engineers, we will be hiring more professionals to support our housing program. In the next 2 years, we will have 300, maybe 1,000 people working in that space. Be patient. We are sorting out the challenges that are facing our digital space. We are rolling out our digital space. Young guys, by the end of next year, God willing, we will have a digital hub in every ward in Kenya, because we have already started that process. Every TVET in Kenya today has an ICT hub with young people monetizing their talent. I want to tell them we are full speed into manufacturing. That is why we're saying we're no longer importing clinker, we're no longer importing steel, we're no longer importing clinker, we are no longer importing furniture. We are going to stop importing eggs, we're going to stop importing onions and all this, because we want to promote our local manufacturing to be able to create jobs for them. We are no longer going to be importing diapers or sanitary pads from other countries. They are going to be manufactured here.
Mr. President,
I have worked with the industries to make sure that we create opportunities for these young people. We are going to work with them to deal with the challenge of corruption. We're going to work with them to cut down on government largesse. I am going to make sure that we have a lean government that responds to the reality of where we are as a country. That is what I am telling my good young people.
The young people. There's another group of young people. Please speak to them directly.
Yes.
The young doctors who are in university graduating this year,
yes,
who are going to look for internship in the next year. The young JS teachers who were on strike a couple of weeks ago, who are expecting to be absorbed into full permanent and pensionable contracts this year. The young clinical officers also who are graduating and they expect to go on internship. The other clinical officers who are hired on contract during COVID and other programs that are just contracts, and contracts are coming to an end. I am telling
the JSS teachers, I had factored in 18 billion shillings in this year's finance bill to be able to transfer them to permanent and pensionable. Because in my phone, so many of them have asked me, Mr. President, we came in, we had an agreement that we are going to be interns for 2 years, we will move to permanent and pensionable. Although I don't have the finance bill, I want to tell them, give me a bit of time, let me figure this out, how we are going to do it without the finance bill. We had also put 3 billion shillings for the doctors so that we can be able to sort them out, especially the intern doctors and those who we intended to hire under our UHC program. I had put 10 billion shillings on the UHC program under the finance bill. That is now not in the equation. I have to figure out. Let them just give me a little time. I'm going to figure it out again because I know and I feel and I made a commitment to them that we will do this. So even in the absence of the finance bill, and even as we cut down on expenditure on many other areas, it is still my commitment that we will see what to do with them so that the job they are doing in teaching our children, in treating our people, do not go to waste.
Mr. President, we're almost winding down this, but have you noticed that those young people, they actually have worked out the things that they believe you can take out and still be able to do the important things? Because you seem to have this elaborate plan, and I'm wondering where their views will fit in, because you seem to have this all worked out, but they probably don't want all those things.
That is why
they have figured out.
That is why, you know, part of what I told you, Joe, is communicating, you know, and I hope this time round I find a medium where I can engage, you know, and I am ready to go to this X place to engage with them. And I want to tell them, this is my plan, okay? Tell me how I can make this better. Tell me this is not good enough, you know, change this. Because I have seen some of the demands they have made. They have said that don't hire CASs, and I agree with them. They have said remove the office of the first lady, the spouse of the second lady and all that, and I have agreed with them. They have said a couple of things that we already are in agreement. They have, of course, said some of the things, abolish the office of women rep. I've seen they have also said we should reduce the salaries of MPs to 200,000 or something. Some of those things are things that are not in my power. Those are the things that we need to do a whole of society, a whole of nation approach, so that if we are bringing down salaries from 1.1 trillion to 700 billion, that is something I am willing and I am ready to start with my own salary, going down to salaries of others, so that we can all live within our means.
Your Excellency, we're now going to our final questions. And my final question will be about the protests and the deployment of KDF, which you did a few days ago. Now, the Gen Z, millennials, and the online Kenyans that are organizing these protests are promising to be back on the streets on Tuesday. What should we expect on Tuesday when protesters, peaceful as some of them have been, turn up on the streets of Nairobi? Do we expect them to be chased away by the Kenya Defense Forces?
First, the Kenya Defense Forces will not be on the street. They only come as a last resort. If the demonstrations will be peaceful, I promise you, the police will be there to protect the demonstrators. But the police will also be there to make sure that the criminals, the fellows who come to burn offices, the fellows who come to loot property, will also be dealt with. That is my commitment. We must all operate within the law, and that is what it is.
My final question is on the elephant in the room, the elephant in our budget, public debt. Candidate William Ruto responded to a question during the debate, and he said he's going to commission an audit of the public debt. President William Ruto last year responded to the same question and said it's important for us to audit our public debt. Today's question is when?
Public debt is actually a public document where we are as a country. The 10-point-something trillion of our debt is in the public domain. But I am prepared for us to put in forensic experts as part of this exercise so that we can all appreciate, yes, this is what we owe, and then agree, how do we pay? How do we deal with it? In fact, I was in Korea. In fact, Korea, when they had a problem of debt, the whole nation came together and people contributed gold Others contributed many things because they wanted to pay their national debt. Maybe we will need that conversation once we are all clear that this is public debt.
My question, Mr. President, is when?
As soon as we finish this conversation, once we have agreed that this is the way we are going, I will institute the necessary steps to make sure that that debt is audited and it is made public for Kenyans to know this is the public debt. And I'm sure it will not take a month for us to be able to know, what is Kenya's public debt? And then we can take it up from there and go forward.
Mr. President, my final question is about your cabinet. Given the things that have happened, given the questions that have been raised about fertilizer, about edible oils, about sugar and all of that, tonight, can you look Kenyans in the eye and tell them you have full confidence in the cabinet that is currently helping you to run the country?
The cabinet that I have maybe could have done better.
That's not the question, Mr. President.
Maybe could have done better. I'm answering your question.
Okay.
Yeah? Maybe, unless you have a better answer. Allow me to answer.
No, I just thought my question was specific, but you can
that's
go
what
ahead.
I'm saying. So, maybe my cabinet would have done better, right? And I am going to do a soul searching on how we need to move forward.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is where we end this conversation with the President tonight. My colleagues have been Lena Kaikai from Citizen TV, Royal Media Services, and Eric Latif representing KTN News from the Standard Media Group. And my name is Joe Ageyo from NTV. Do have a lovely evening.
Hello. Natusikia bado? 1 2 1 2. I think sasa tuko sawa.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we good? Can you hear us? Natusikia?
Yeah, tuko sawa. So, tuko nasema wadau, thank you so much manze wala wote mko hapa na sisi. Thank you for the follows and pia comments huko watu wameteremka na watu.
Pale kwa comments imekuwa noma. So we are back. The sound is good.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, can you let us know?
Yeah,
we are good,
sawa.
we are good. So ile kitu mimi imenishika sana. Ni in the next 3 years. By the end of next year.
Yes.
In the next 1 week. Give us a little bit more of time.
In the end of like this
the end of this life. Guys.
Whoa.
So tunashukuru sana. Mimi pia nimelike vile anaitwa nani umse Eric Latif. I have I am sorry.
Respect.
I am sorry. I was not familiar with Eric Latif's game. Anafinya kufinya.
Anafinya manzi.
Let me tell you, it's crazy. In 6 months' time, mana.
All natural asema, let me tell you.
Let me tell you, my friend. Let me tell you, my friend.
Lakini, what do you think? Manzi, unajua hata
I am not in your space.
Okay.
I am not in your space, guys. Unajua. I live here. Your niggas live here. Who ni representative wa nchi yote? Walai hivyo ndivyo kuko. Mimi nataka tu akuje X. He would be the first president ever to be interrogated on X, and now he would know. Yeah. He would know verbal violence. Let me tell you, no questions were answered at all.
Actually, amekuja ku hang out.
For sure, he's not in this space. He must go. Where? I am not in your space. Ndio jamaa ametuambia bana. I am not in your space. Ukimuuliza kitu yote, let me tell you.
Give me
in the
chance.
Next 3 weeks,
if given a chance,
if given a chance, you're by then one of the worst nini amemake. If I was given a chance to explain, you have a chance to explain right there. You have Twitter, you have everything. You have KBC, you can call anyone and explain. You never did. All in all, I think ameweka plain, amejaribu 100. Amejaribu nini sasa kutupanga. He didn't know the press conference was happening, however alikam unprepared. I also don't think he could have there's any way he could have prepared for Linus and Latif.
It's a wrap.
Niaji boss tuned sana Bishop Meheme.
Asante Meheme. Kucheki, thank you.
See, okay.
Wadau lakini tumemaliza hata kama mjaguza hata live goal.
Hata mjatuguzia live goal wase. Alafu anytime tuko na hizi lives tafadhali mnatu tap ya sana kwa sababu ya kufungiwa. We get a lot of restrictions for airing this live broadcast. Ati kizungu ndio ilikuwa mingi na maswali kidogo.
Lotafia, thank you.
Lotafia in the building.
Na ameingia sahi
Fadhili mkuu rafiki wetu wa nguvu sana. All natural tunakucheki pia.
Thank you so much.
It's crazy like bado hajashusha kiburi. Bado hataki kutusikiza. I think whoever is advising him is anamwangusha mbaya, but I heard someone say like he advises his advisors on how to advise him.
CEO K.Me sanasema his PR person has failed him. He's full of BS.
Walai. I think to the only way alafu
CEO Asante.
One of the things also that come up new story ya kutengeneza boards zingine na makomiti zingine. Every other time we are making committees and boards and commissions of inquiries kumeke kukula tu pesa ingine. I think that's crazy.
Munira asante sana. CEO, thank you so much. Asante wale wasoto watatuguzia live goal, we do appreciate. Lotafia, thank you. All natural, asante.
Lotafia nasema the girl who was coaching him for the interviews alimtoka. I don't think you can be coached for this one because everyone right now
saini
noma. And I think pia kulikuwa na pressure mob sana on Linus na Latif na ujama mwingine I forget his name. Juu pia wao wangekosa kuuliza hizo maswali
watu wangeteremka nao.
Wasalimia baadaye.
Watu wangeteremka. But good job manzi awasi na hawajaogopa.
We appreciate your platform. Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Felix and everyone else. Another thing nimenotice. Hakuna mselimwambia anaweza ita one Gen Z journalist. No one advised him like you could get one young guy because these guys are late 40s and above. Linus I have seen someone post the ages. Hakuna mtu alimwambia tu ita hata Gen Z journalist mmoja, a token Gen Z journalist. It doesn't matter who he is. It could be King Kalala for all we care. Hakuna msali show. It's crazy. Tania, we see you. Shukran pia kwa everyone mwenye anatu gift mazee
na wase pia wakutap mazee. Leo tujakwama.
Tap leo tujakwama.
Thank you so much.
Pata tu restriction moja pekee. is awesome. Everyone who's gifting us, asanteni sana. You keep our lights on.
Yes, thank you.
We will be here for it. Naona ati sasa hata akiambiwa haezi sikia. I think hii season watu watakuwa humbled very much. Na kuna swali pia ameulizwa about next week. Ameulizwa, are you aware wase wanatokea kwa streets na whether KDF watakuwa kwa streets? Akasema KDF ni last resort. Anasema KDF itakuwa kitu ya mwisho.
But pia ni hard sana kutrust what anasema, like watu washazoea sana.
King of double speak.
Yes.
Na kuna swali aliuliza na Joe Ageo. Ati are you aware hakuna mse ana trust enye unasema huku nje. Hakuna mse ana kutrust. Ati hata bibi yake wanashindwa aliingia box na hiyo uongo yote yake. No ladies don't care. Bibi yake ni intercessor, sasa tutafanya nini?
But I think one of the words itakuwa ina trend sana saini, I'm not in your space.
I am not in your space.
Yeah?
Mimi siko na nyinyi maskini.
On another level.
And then pia amesema ati they will do away with those offices. Yeah, za our spouse na my wife. I am waiting to see them do away with that. Amekubali kuitwa Zakayo. All natural. Guys,
1 trillion loan.
Like sasa tunapewa GSU na AP. Police mtu analipwa 15,000 to class. Okay.
No one cares about him anymore. He should accept that.
Yeah, and move on as soon as possible. The other thing nimeona kwa hii conversation ni ati yeye na deputy president wake hawako on the same page kabisa. Yeye na ule Zakayo na mtu wa mlima, kila mtu ako pande yake.
Mazi.
Sasa sijui who is amemruka juu amemtoka. Anatoka amesema
hiyo endeni muulize
huyo jamaa.
Lakini you know I don't think sijui kama mse anajuanga saa zingine ananoe wasi.
Kwanza saa hii unajua wasi wanaweka ame prepare grounds for even I think I feel like ame prepare grounds for even worse protest hii wiki. Cause amepandisha mori ya watu like hii like we are not in your space. Haya. Ati Zakayo nipe mimba juu hutaki ninyeshe. That's a good nini for a placard. Hii inafaa kuwa kwa placard. Kama mtaenda maandamano, I hope ya I think leo wase walitokea candlelight vigil for
but nasikia kuna area pia wametembea.
Yeah, nimeona kulikuwa na maandamano hadi Statehouse Nakuru.
Na leo alikuwa kanisa ama nimeona zangu.
Alikuwa kanisa na ni kama watu walitaka kumtembelea huko kwa kanisa kusalimia. Na I don't know tutaishiaje juu mtu yote alivote yes. Ataenda home kwa waji sasa.
Kurudi home itakuwa ni normal.
How will you be going to your to your ati Magio Kima anasema aki amenijamisha.
Si wewe wacha nikwambie. Hata saa hii tunaambia kuja utujump pamoja. Juu hapa.
Just eka hiyo makasiriko vizuri mpaka
we need it.
Ati kuna MP aligongwa jana vibaya sana. I think ni MP wa ni Kibwezi ama ni. Aligusa.
Ule kwa mazishi.
Lakini aliekelewa kiboko bana. Mwingine aliekelewa kiboko si mzuri.
Shanzu waliongeza mwaka kilio kwa hiyo mazishi cho.
It's crazy. Thank you guys for always being here with us. Ati nani? Kila mtu amejamba na ati kwanza niko na map ya Statehouse. Zakayo doesn't care anymore. He is just arrogant. Nimekasirika all through the interview. I swear, kwanza ukikataa kukasirika sana. Sai ukisikia umeanza ku cool down, enda ingia X. Ingia X for 5 minutes, unarudi mori imepanda. Ukisikia unataka ku cool down kiasi, panda huko kwa X. What else was nini sana about your interview?
Nini umeangalia tu kwa interview ukasema yenyewe umseni mwongo yani.
Nini umesikia?
Anasema the same things. Yaani unashangaa yani ulikuwa na expect hata hii anaweza kuwa ametulia kiasi. Lakini sasa hii ndio anatupa sasa zaidi.
I think leo kuna mahali tumepitia kwa church na kuna pasi alituambia leo Ruto akona opportunity kubwa sana.
Akona kumaliza hii story.
He had a big opportunity today. He had a very big opportunity to change direction ya hii conversation. Alikuwa na whole 3 hours, how many hours? Whole 2 hours ya kuchange hii situation na kuongea na wasee vile inafaa na calm down na kuwa humble na kuongelesha ase.
But ametumia
for the third time again.
Ametumia time kukasirisha wasee.
Sasa naona watu hapa sema wamekula hata pesa ya tear gas. Kweli. Ushaisikiza mtu ukaona ni kama unaga akili. God damn it. Me I'm grateful ametuongeza gas ya maandamano unaona. But he said he is willing to have a conversation.
But sasa ukiangalia conversation hata saa hii for 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
What do you think atasema like
ni nini ingine atatushow?
Nini ingine anaweza sema?
If for these 2 hours he had an opportunity and he did not use it.
Yeah. Kikuyu Romeo mambo Leila, what's up?
Karibuni sana. Tuambie nimeonaje hiyo story. And then for another thing wasona shindo kibuliza everywhere. What are we talking about? Tulishakwambia juu si ndio wadosi wako. Si ndio tulikuelect. Tushakwambia tunataka action. You can't keep on telling us we are forming bodies. Tulifanya BBI, tukafanya NADCO. Sasa sijui tufanye multisectoral. Hizo vitu zote hazifanyagi anything. So I think watu wamejanjaruka. Sasa amesema nini hata eri luku ya Gachagua.
But design pia ametoka Gachagua. It's just nakwambia tu like what kind of government we have.
Magi wa Kima anasema how you can you have conversation if you can't even listen. No. He's claiming that there are forces that are jealous of his trip to America. Niliona msee leo kwa maandamano na placard imeandikwa proudly funded by Illuminati and Russia.
Speaking of that, nimeona kama kuna msee yote mazi yako Lebanon. Kuna noma hiyo side tafadhali.
I think the Israeli Lebanon is escalating.
So tafadhali kama kuna msee yako hiyo side, let us know how you guys are what is happening also.
Yes. Alafu anytime as anyone mwenye yako kwa hii tumesahau kuambia everyone right now hit follow kwa hii account. Ndio the next time tunakuja live siku na hizi coverage. Mimi walikuwa wameniteka nyara lakini bado kesho nitakuwa kwa street reporting. I had been abducted but I will still be on the streets.
Sijao na mtu ameshikwa kistaa hivyo.
I don't know. That's why tunasema hii government wasteful. I saw these guys arrest us like 30 of them with over 5 cars, arresting 3 people, unarmed people, which is crazy. It was the most, nilikuwa like, kama hii ndio siku yangu leo, this is the shit. Like,
go down like a star.
Yeah, but like 30 guys with masks and everything, and but we'll still be out there and reporting. And rest in peace to everyone we have lost. And quick healing to everyone mwenye ako hosi. Some of them nilikuwa nimewatembelea kabla nishikwe. Tuna try pia kuona vile wase wanaweza kusaidiana through hiyo mchanga ya huko X. Kenya tuko na shida kubwa, Mungu wetu. Ni jinsi tutafute kura tupatie nchi yetu, hatuna gava hapa. Kama unajua mse yote ako above 18 ama ametana 18 na hana ID, tafadhali get that person to get an ID. Do you feel like the next biggest war itakuwa watafanya kupata kitambulisho ikuwe ngumu? So sijasikia kiulizwa story ya Statehouse renovation money. Amesema yeye mwenyewe atapunguza nini yake spending yake,
lakini akasema MP kidogo hiyo si shughuli yake.
Yes, wajipange. So I am a witness. Tafadhali kupata ID itakuwa kitu ngumu. tell your younger brothers and sisters to go get that ID right now, because I know that is the next biggest vita yenye tutapigwa. Asante sana Winchens, karibu.
Winchens, mambo vipi? Karibu sana.
So ile kitu nimepata kutoka kwa hii conversation yote important sana ni morali ya kwenda bado kuwapeperushia habari kutoka kwa huko kwa streets. So wakinishika tena tu ni sawa, God atatu keep safe. Ruto, he's just trying to make people like Uhuru, and people are like to pay cause they have never paid. What are you talking about? What does this have to do?
It's already hard to get an ID. Nime apply duplicate nikaambiwa haiko ready after 2 months.
Guys,
follow up.
Keep following up and keep shouting so much about that story ID. I think kupata ID sahi itakuwa the hardest things. One of the hardest thing to do.
Aisha anasema kuna backlog ya last year.
Imagine sasa itakuwa even worse because they don't want you guys to vote. My younger sisters and brothers, and then ngangane na mpige kelele juu ya ID. Ati round hii wakifungia ID kama passport tunawatembelea huko, tafadhali endeni na muambie, simameni hapo kwa huduma centers, muambie mnataka ID zenyu tafadhali. Ndongo, asante sana everyone mwenye amebaki hapa kwa hii live, tafadhali hit follow. We should manifest tunakisema take tea. I like your tea. At least tunatry kukua funny time ya makasi. Imagine hata mimi yangu imekoma. Na mbona upiga kelele bana? If kama uko na shida ya ID, that should be the loudest cry, because if we don't have IDs, people will not be able to vote. If people will not be able to vote, especially Gen Zs, this excuse my French, these Fs will not go back to their homes. Wataendelea kukula tu. Naenda huko kesho for the last time and they won't like, please end alive, do anything, piga kelele, because we need people to get their IDs ndio mpate kura za kupeleka watu nyumbani kisheria. Tafadhali my Gen Z fellas, go get your IDs please. Hiyo ndio vita itakuwa mbaya. Kisanya anasema yes wakuu tutafute ID please. Yes, nani bado haja hit follow? If you haven't hit follow, please do right now. So
zingine pia tunafungiwango wa hii live yetu, so tafadhali check out hii account kwa hapo juu. At kimathimatics. Hapa
juu yangu kuna account nyingine. If
ukitukosa
kwa hii live
tuko hiyo nyingine.
Naona pia watafanya ile upuzia upate hauko kwa register please. That's why nawaambia check the electro na lazima hata ile one of the biggest problems no one is talking about. Hatuna IBC. Sasa tukitaka kupeleka hawa say home, hatuwezi fanya hiyo kitu juu hakuna IBC. So mkiitisha matakwa yenu huko kote mkisema reject na nini na hizo vitu zote, remember to tell them we need to reconstitute the IBC. It's very vital. Tunahitaji IBC mbaya. Juu sahi hata tukaamua mnataka mtu wenyu vote of whatever, mtoe mpate, hatuwezi. We don't have this. Majenzi please, hawa wote wako kwa gava saizi, tusiwarudishe wote. Go get your IDs please. Go get your IDs. To the millennials who are watching this, please, naona mkishemiwa sana ati nyi si Gen Z. I am seeing you being shamed and not to get involved or to help your younger brothers in this struggle they are going through. Please shikilieni mandugu zenyu.
Staff ni yetu sote bana.
Kila mtu ni Mkenya. Kila mtu sahi tulisema kila mtu sahi ni Gen Z. Kila mtu ni Mkenya, tunaumia sote. Tumetuliza matako tukipiga kelele, na tukiamua kupiga kura hakuna mtu wa coordinate. Imagine ID kwanza na pia IBC. Msisahau kuongea story ya IBC. Hiyo story ya IBC ni muhimu. this guy is scanning haki. Hata sikuwa nimefikiria. Bro, IEBC, we do not have an IEBC. And they are distracting us from very serious issues. Also, your story ya shamba, story ya lands. Check that issue out na msome hizo vitu sana because they are trying to introduce another bill.
Niliona huyo nani akisema.
They are trying to introduce another bill.
Yani shamba wanataka kutake by any chance.
By fire, by force. We need a shout out for IBC. Please. Whenever mna agitate for everything else, mkumbuke kusema we constitute an IBC. Because without an IBC, hata tufanye nini tukitaka kuchaguana, hakuna kitu tutadu. What else? I think mweke hizo hasira zenyu vizuri. Kuna wakati zitahitajika. Advocating for non-tribal voting, please. Hata kama ni civic education lazima tufanye hadi mashinani. Ukweli, uzuri wa majenzi. Hawajui mambo hiyo, jinga hiyo ati sisi watu wa mlima, sisi watu wa wapi, ati sisi kama what region, that's the thing. And that's why nataka majenzi wachukue kura mingi kwa sababu hawajui hiyo ujinga ya tribal voting. Hakuna IBC vikikiari. There is no IBC right now. Kuna mtu aliita Ruto Arab mashamba tukaona nini? Walai. Like you saw these as jokes. Popular, I see you pia.
Karibu sana, what's up? Mama Girls. Hey, Mama Girls by the way aje because I think ako your side.
Mama Girls kindly give us updates on how Lebanon is going because I think your border hiyo issue yao na Israel ni kama imeanza ku overspill. We need to know. I don't know why uko kila mtu that country is also fighting everyone around them. We need to find out how our brothers and sisters in Lebanon are doing. Yes, so nani mwingine tunakuaga na watu wa Lebanon hapa, tunakuaga na Ann Mokoi, tunakuaga na Bri, tunakuaga na Mama Girls ako Lebanon.
Mama Girls ako Lebanon.
Yes. Nimesikia akidanganya ati there was nothing like land issue. Stay vigilant wase. Like stay vigilant. These guys will try everything. Hata mmesikia akisema there are no abductions. And I am here to tell you personally I was abducted. No charges, nothing. By over 30 police, over 6 vehicles just to arrest 3 people for nothing. We were never charged. We were unarmed. We were questioned and just put in a cell for hours for nothing. Nakutakarawa na kuuliza kitu kama Zakayo ni nani? Like what the hell? Ati Zakayo ni nani? Ati kitu. So you guys stay vigilant and also stay safe. Saini time poa sana ya kukaa mkiulizana mko wapi, uko aje, uko fiti kwa sababu worry not for the people who come to this live when wali share maposta
wasali come through. Thank you so much.
Mawakili nikifikishwa stage kulikuwa na mawakili kama 5 wase wengi na wase wanduthi pia huko Embu wali zusha.
I think inatupatia two ideas on why we should not even ignore to come a platform kama hizi.
Don't ignore. I am so grateful. Jilif kama ali wananiuliza who are you? Who could you be that these people are advocating for your release? So
Papilash, thank you so much. Asante sana for the gifts. Keep them coming.
Now, by the way, we should also stage demonstrations for American Embassy, IMF, na World Bank offices. I think watu pia wanatu piga kidole for a lack of better word. Those are the people, also the biggest people in this ish. Kwanza IMF bana. Kelvin Motish, IMF. I think it's very unfair that this government is conducting economic experiments in cahoots with these bodies on its people.
Yeah.
Yani too like fanya hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. Fanya hivi na hivi na hivi. Na wanakuja hadi bunge kwetu wanaketi kusupervise.
Your wife wanza kwa hapa. Mambo.
Your wifey. Niko na ma handles moto. Yes, so guys, hiyo issue ya IBC, hiyo issue ya land, hiyo issue ya IDs. Wacha hii nini kuwe very issue based, si personality based. Na anyone mwenye anataka huko kusimama na kusema yeye ni representative wetu, you remember to remind them this movement is leaderless, tribeless.
What about the new election? Should we recall MPs?
How can we recall MPs when you don't have an IBC?
Tuna IBC.
So hata saa hii tukafanya nini hatuwezi kuwa na nini, we don't have an IBC.
Kai na mambo.
What were they doing there? Haki mimi naona nikianza kusumbuana na serikali mapema. Wewe ndio na mimi nimesumbuana na, I think this is the second year this year where I have been in police custody wrongly. Wrongly, like with no actual procedures, mara mbili kwa hii mwaka. So nasikia tu hasira kidogo zinaendelea, yani tu yani we need to recall huyo mother wa US back kwa nani Meg Whitman. I don't know what's her role in all this, but it's eerie, it's very sinister. But it's not easy because you know what will happen. Lakini Israel wame declare war against Lebanon. Are they going to declare war against everyone? Are they going to fight everyone? You guys, I hope you guys are safe in case of anything.
And also
channel yetu pia ni signal. Tutapiga kelele.
Tuambie ni
tutapiga kelele mpaka Zakayo waende ama just keep us updated. My girls, please keep us updated. Meg Whitman, she has infiltrated the government. Wow, that woman must be so powerful. Sijui ni deal gani hasa wanapiga na Ireland yetu wase, but
kuna kitu tu.
We need to be very very vigilant. Na wale wanaenda maandamano tusiprovokiwe sana, ndiye kuwe ni sisi, unajua. Kusemekana tena it was infiltrated by goons, muito criminals tena. So be very cautious and be very vigilant. America loves calamity. The last time I saw Bill Gates here at Wote, nikashangaa na kujia ni alikuwa kwenyu,
alikuwa Wote. Ama ni ile time alikuwa amekam.
I think alikuwa amekuja. So I think tunaweza fungia tu hapo kwa leo.
Mazee to rest pia, tujalala. We've had a long night, we've had a long day. Kuna job leo the whole day. Shinda job ingine crazy. So we are just thankful mlikuja hapa, to everyone who has gifted us, everyone who has followed us, to everyone who has shared this live, and everyone who has shared their views. We appreciate. Everybody should come out, Gen Z and their parents. Millennials kwanza, millennials and Gen Zs, msikubali kuseparatiwa tafadhali. All natural, asante sana for always supporting us. Thank you so much.
Kuna hao watu tafadhali nataka kwa biga Papilash, Munira One, CEO, K Lotafia, who else? Living Free, Ken Razy, Kezia, Vicky Kiari, Unbounded, All Natural, and everyone else who has gifted us. We appreciate you guys so much. Mkuwe na usiku mwema. God bless. Mukai rada, check on your peoples.
Yes.
Viva!
Kama uko na msee yote manzi Lebanon, tafadhali check on them.
Watu wetu wa Lebanon, keep us updated.
Yeah.
Good night.
Adios.